Hey guys, what's up? It's RagesSorrow here, and welcome to my Loot from 10 Hours of Nihil video. Nihils are actually a pretty interesting creature that you can only access after you completed the Fate of the Gods quest. To access them, you want to make sure that you have a Shard of Zaros on you before you spawn them into the room. The room that you're going to be going into to fight them is called the Pit. To access the Pit, choose the third option when clicking on the World Gate. Once inside the Pit and once the Nihils have been spawned, you can start attacking them. The Nihils actually drop some pretty good loot, such as Onyx Bolt Tips, Lansdowne Seeds, and a lot of noted drops. They have an amazing access to the rare drop table, so this makes them a prime monster to actually kill if you're looking for anything like Brawling Gloves or anything like that. So definitely worth checking them out for that. Another good thing that they're useful for is their summoning ingredients. The summoning ingredients are dropped by each of the Nihils. One specific ingredient is provided to each Nihil. I'm not sure what the Blood Nihils provide, but I do know the Shadow Nihils will provide you with a Demon Horn, the Ice Nihils will provide you with an Ician Feather, and the Smoke Nihils will provide you with an Aviancy Talon. Now the interesting part is that the summoning pouches on the Grand Exchange are particularly high. The most notable ones that are particularly high in price are the Smoke Nihil, as well as the Ice Nihil. Now the interesting thing is, it doesn't matter which Nihil you kill and which ingredient you get, because if it's not the ingredient that you're going to use for summoning, you can simply use 10 Elder Energy to actually transmute one of these ingredients over to the other. For instance, if you have a Demon Horn, but you want an Ician Feather, you can transmute the Demon Horn to an Ician Feather, and you'll have the Ician Feather instead. Or, for example, if you have an Aviancy Talon, but instead you're wanting a Demon Horn, you can transmute it over to the Demon Horn. It actually makes for some pretty good money, and I can't wait to show you guys the results of my trip. So let's go ahead and take a look at that, shall we? Alright guys, so after killing the Nihils for 10 hours, this is the loot that we received from them in total. Now, one of the items that I'm not actually going to be able to note and show you guys right away is going to be the Ician Feathers, which is what I've transmuted all the Demon Horns and Aviancy Talons that I received into. So we received 208 Ician Feathers within a 10-hour period. So that's roughly 20 feathers an hour. You can get roughly 20 to 30 per hour. I've had some where I've reached up to 32, so it's definitely not too bad. Now, the one thing that I'm not going to price check is going to be the Elder Energy, because we're going to be using that along with the 208 Elder Charms, and we're going to be making the Ician pouches. So let's go ahead and take a look at the price check with all the items minus that. Now, the best part about the Icians that I actually noticed, well, with the Nihils rather, is that they actually have an amazing access to the rare drop table. Not only that, a lot of their drops end up being coming as Lansdowne Seeds or Onyx Bolt Tips, which with just they actually drop roughly 6 to 10 of these at a time, and when you actually receive just 4 of them, it's actually really good, because it's over 60k. And should you happen to receive an Ician Feather or an Aviancy Talon or a Demon Horn or anything like that in with those drops, it just makes it so much better. So it's a common drop to actually receive them, receive the Aviancy Talons, the Demon Horns, things like that. So when you actually get one, it's not too bad. So this is going to be 24.4 mil just for the regular loot. This isn't including what we received from the pouches. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put everything back in the bank, make the pouches. I'll be right back with you guys, and once I've got all the pouches and everything crafted, I'll go ahead and make them, and then I'll show you the final loot after we sell everything. Alright guys, so we have made all 208 of our Ice Nihil pouches. So let's go ahead and do a quick price check with them in. Just keep in mind that the price that the Ice Nihil pouches are showing at is actually going to sell for more than what it's showing. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and put everything in there. So we're sitting at 42.2 mil, and that's just for 10 hours. So that's roughly 4.2 mil an hour. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and sell all the loot, and then I'm going to be back in just a moment and show you exactly what the cash pile looks like. Alright guys, so we've already sold all of our regular loot, and we have about 24 mil in the pouch. Now the thing that I wanted to show you guys, and as mentioned, when we actually sold the Nihil pouches, I put them in for 95k. So they all sold, but the amazing part is, it was put in it for 19.7 mil, and they all sold at 20.5 mil. So they're roughly 98 to 100k right now, and there are actually a couple of pouches that are selling a little bit more than that, but I decided to go with the ice nihils at this time. So if we go in and we remove all of the money out of our pouch, we have made a grand total now of 44.8 mil. And with that, keeping in perspective of about 10 mil, about 10 hours, so you're looking at roughly 4.4 mil an hour, which in reality isn't bad, considering the combat XP if you are killing the ice nihils and the smoke nihils is actually really good. I would actually recommend killing the smoke nihils more than anything. The reason being is because the only thing that their special attack does if you get trapped inside the smoke ball is it just drains your stats down. If you're using overloads or supreme overloads, that's not something you really have to worry about. You do want to move out of the square that it hits on though, but you're not going to be having to worry about, healing the Nihil if you're attacking the Blood Nihil, or taking rapid 500s if you're fighting the Shadow Nihil, or getting frozen in place and having your prayer drained a lot faster if you're fighting the Ice Nihils. So the smokes are definitely a good one to go after. If you want to melee, then Shadow Nihils are your fastest. They have lower life points, so they're going to be a lot faster to kill. But since they're running around the room, if you're using melee, it's going to take a lot longer to kill them. But that's pretty much all the time that I have for this loot from 10 hours of Nihils. If you want to see another loot from 10 hour video, let me know, and I'll be sure to get right on that. If you have any other suggestions for videos that you might be interested in seeing, leave those in the comment section below. And if you have any questions about how to kill the Nihils or anything like that, then drop a comment and I'll answer your question as soon as I can. But as always, guys, this has been RagesSorrow, teaching you to work harder, teaching you to work smarter, not harder. Peace.